enhancing the quality of life, making sanitation accessible and affordable for the poor. It is truism today that economic success the world over is based on good health that is directly related to availability of protected water, safe sanitation and good nutrition. Yet 80% of the people living in villages, especially the poor across India, suffer with illness and diseases due to lack of proper sanitation and drinking water facility. According to World Health Organization report, every year 5 lakh children in India die due to diarrhea, unhygienic environment and unsafe drinking water. This is because poverty and ill health are part of a vicious circle in which poverty undermines health and ill health is often a root cause for poverty and a reason why individuals are sometimes unable to escape from the poverty trap. The health problems facing the villages are rooted in this context, as are the potential health benefits of a broad human development strategy. As you drive the 90-odd kilometers from Guntur, the rice bowl of Andhra Pradesh, to Narasayapalem Village in Bapatala Mandal, the green landscape is covered with paddy and chili fields. Narasayapalem is a fairly big village and has a population of about 5,400 people, comprising of 2,174 households. Out of these, 1,954 of them are below poverty line families. A large majority of the people here are engaged in agriculture and allied activities. While there is a protected water supply system in the village with a water treatment plant, 3 overhead water tanks and pipelines to few residents' homes and few outposts, nearly 40% of the households in the village till recently did not have sanitation facilities at their homes. Open defecation was a common scenario in the village. Unsafe disposal of human excreta facilitated transmission of oral fecal diseases, including diarrhea and chronic illnesses, as well as polluting water. People found it extremely difficult, especially during monsoons, as it resulted in frequent ill health. The illnesses proved expensive to the families in terms of productivity losses and imposed huge medical expenditure. Women suffered from lack of privacy, harassment, and need to walk long distances to find a suitable place for defecation in the absence of toilet facilities at home. Even in households where toilet facility existed, some members were used to defecate openly in fields, roadside, etc. Securing health system is critical to combating major diseases. In order to ensure overall health and hygiene, all the interested members in the village put household sanitation in Narasayapalem on top of the development agenda and held extensive discussions with the members of the Narasayapalem Residents Association at Hyderabad and with the community members at the village. Thus emerged the resolution to support construction of individual sanitary latrines, ISLs. Educated and employed persons from Narasayapalem living in cities and overseas generously pledged their monetary support for the project. Thus, Gowravam, meaning dignity, Sanitation Project came into being in the year 2009 to bring dignity to the individuals and overall health to the community. To begin with, Gowravam conducted a baseline sanitation survey in the village. It revealed that 620 below the poverty line households did not have ISLs. Cash incomes are fairly high in the village. However, lack of awareness about environmentally safe sanitation, especially among the poorest of the poor, meant poor sanitation practices and rampant open defecation. The village Gram Panchayat resolved through a JP resolution to facilitate construction of individual sanitary latrines for the households identified in the survey. Accordingly, it applied to the district collector for grant of eligible subsidy under Total Sanitation Program to the BPL households. Water and sanitation initiatives were also being implemented under the overall Health and Nutrition Program being taken up by Indira Kranti Patham, a World Bank funded multi-sectoral rural poverty alleviation program of Government of Andhra Pradesh. Technical support was taken from the IKP team in facilitating CLTS, community-led total sanitation approach in Narasayapalem Village. Gowravam Project undertook large-scale community mobilization and intensive awareness campaigns in order to trigger the interest among the households to stop open defecation and get them interested in constructing toilets in their houses. Followed by day-long rally by school children against open defecation, meetings were held with ward members and self-help group members. Where village welfare was concerned, the residents of the village sunk their differences and worked together for the overall good of everyone. Training was provided to the people on community-led total sanitation approach. To conduct the triggering exercise, 5 health community resource persons from IKP visited the village and explained their agenda to the Panchayat President and to the VO members. As part of the exercise, they mobilized people at the village square and encouraged them to involve themselves while drawing the social map. To begin with, roads, important places like temple, Anganwadi center, school, church, ponds, tanks, houses, etc. were identified in the map. Once the village map was completed, the places of defecation were marked in yellow color. A rough estimation of feces per person was calculated and multiplied by the number of people in the village. This highlighted the total quantity of feces produced in a day, in a month, in a year in the village. The flow diagram traced the routes of how feces defecated in the open made its way back first into the community and then into food and water consumed by the people in the village. When they learned about the extent of shit they were living in, it generated a lot of agitation in the community. Next, they identified the diseases caused due to ingesting the feces and calculated the cost of medical expenses to treat the ailment. The community members were taken on a transect walk to areas where they did open defecation. There, the quality of water was tested by obtaining water samples from different sources in order to check bacterial contamination. This led to their understanding the need to lead a healthy life. Gowravam, through Gram Panchayat, supported the marginalized and below poverty line households in the village to help them construct individual toilets and bathroom facilities. Accordingly, a low-cost sanitation option was developed, stimulated by a network of beneficiary, government, donor partnership. A detailed implementation plan was prepared in consultation with the community, and health sanitation committees were formed in order to take up construction of toilet-cum-bath units in 620 numbers with a project outlay of 56,87,500 rupees. The cost of toilet-cum-bath per household, initially estimated at 9,500 rupees per unit, has costed on an average of 11,000 rupees per unit with 7 feet into 6 feet into 4 feet dimensions. A group of masons were identified to co-opt for the construction work. Through personal network, construction material was sourced at reasonable rates. social mobilization and community awareness, coupled with provision of logistic support for the construction of individual units, led to improved sanitation and hygiene in the village. The process involved the BPL families getting themselves enrolled in the scheme by paying their individual contribution of 3,000 rupees per beneficiary. The RWS department, Government of Andhra Pradesh, clearly understood the importance of improving sanitation at the household level and backed up this commitment with 2,750 rupees per BPL household under the total sanitation program. The balance amount per unit was raised as contribution from donors. This alternative was found more sustainable, cost-effective and easier to scale up.
మాకు టాయిలెట్ లేకముందు చాలా ఇబ్బంది పడేవాళ్ళం. బయటికి వెళ్ళటం వల్ల అనారోగ్యాల వల్ల పిల్లలు గాని పెద్దోళ్ళు గాని అనారోగ్యంలోకి కృంగిపోయారు. మాకు టాయిలెట్లు కట్టిన తర్వాత చాలా ఉపయోగకరంగా ఉంది. టాయిలెట్లు లేకముందు చాలా ఇబ్బంది పడ్డాము. పొలాల్లోకి వెళ్ళటం అనేది ఇన్సల్ట్గా ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు బాత్రూమ్లు కట్టించుకున్న తర్వాత అనారోగ్యంగా లేకుండా ఉత్సాహంగా ఉంటున్నాము.
For the schools and Anganwadi centers, 100% funding is expected from the RWS under the school sanitation program. The project's success in constructing ISLs in 450 poor households is dramatic, and the number is growing. Before long, Narasayapalem will come under ODF village category. Residents of neighbouring village Jillalamudi are replicating the Gowravam model, and other neighbouring villages are also showing keen interest to do so. Gowravam Sanitation Project has gradually transformed Narasayapalem into a healthy place. After 2 years, this village has started to look very different from the neighbouring villages.
ఇల్లు పూరీలైనా కూడా లిటిల్ కట్టడంలో చాలా గొప్పతనంగా ఉంది. చాలా మంచి స్కీమ్ అండి ఇది. ఇంకా ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కువగా మేము కట్టుకుంటాం అని వస్తున్నారు.
Many see it as a success story. For Gowravam, it is promoting human dignity and health through sanitation in the community.